Ebusian for meeting Eddie Francis Achu, aka Possible. Memo Aquaba Sonkon, Eba Possible Multimedia, our platform where you can edit a family on some more each of way my Ghana mu ena. The Domusuko Echo Hibnia DB Ababes. Menocasio Bakuya drop. I emo she, Pamin Pessemese, what I in India coin. So Yanko change some audio.
This business of we have a difficult job because it's a known quantity. Look, it's a major advantage. Major advantage. Okay. Because people vote for experience. People vote for track record. People vote for people who have had the benefit of hindsight. People vote for people who have superior record. So it's all an advantage and many, many advantages. Because all we have to do is to put President Mahamad's track record here and the Akufo-Addo Bawumia track record there for the Ghanaian people to compare. President Mahama has never given us a budget deficit of 17%, never supervised inflation at 40%. He has never saddled us with a debt to GDP ratio of 104% by close of this year as the World Bank is projecting. We've never seen this level of corruption, blatant conflict of interest. Look, open stealing, thievery. We've never seen it. There is no way President Mahama will have allowed a finance minister, as I dovetail into the grounds for the finance minister's removal, a finance minister to have his company engage in this unethical, immoral, stinking conflict of interest, despicable, of the highest order. The last time we asked the finance minister to come declare how much he's benefited, his companies have benefited from Euro bonds alone, he told us in Parliament, 151 million Ghana cedis. The answer is there. Nasty conflict of interest. Look, many people, and I agree with the popular view, that we should not only be talking about removal of this finance minister, but his prosecution. He is a candidate for jail. Let's be honest. You violate Article 178 of our Constitution. The Constitution is clear. You cannot dip your hands in the consolidated fund without parliamentary approval. This finance minister does it once, twice, thrice, claiming that he's looking for money to build the president's cathedral. 199.7 million Ghana cedis. I mean, we never saw this under President Mahama, not under President Kufuor, not under President Rawlings. We've never seen it in our history. Blatant disregard for the Constitution. Blatant and flagrant, violent violation of the Constitution. This is a finance minister who violates Article 176 of the Constitution and sends our oil revenues offshore.
You say he has diverted 100 million. So I was looking for this story even before you began, that he has diverted $100 million
yes.
of Ghana's oil fund into other
yes.
accounts.
Yes.
Which hasn't come to Parliament.
Read the PIAC report. Yes. Yes. Look, his atrocities are so many, numerous, countless. He and his right-hand man, his other
Eduboahin.
collaborator.
Are you talking about Eduboahin?
Yes. Yes, Charles Eduboahin.
And you make a statement on him too, but you go ahead. I will look.
Yes. I can confirm to you that Charles Eduboahin tendered his resignation. And the president is making light weather of the mess that he has brought upon us. So he told him to hold on. He's refusing to accept his resignation because he knows that if he accepts it, it leaves his cousin in a very precarious situation. There'll be a lot of pressure on his cousin, Ofori. And you see why many governance experts say that nepotism is dangerous. The only reason why Ofori is still in that job is because he's the president's cousin. You see the fallouts, the dangers of naked nepotism. That is what it does. Look, I am exceedingly grateful to the Right Honorable Speaker that he's acted with dispatch I hold in my hands the order paper of Thursday, 27th October 2022. Notice of motion of vote essential. As soon as you see this on the order paper, Nana Kumia is an experienced legislator. He will tell you that it means your motion has been admitted and it has been advertised. So the counting begins. And remember that under Article 82 of the 1992 Constitution, we have 14 days to operate. So when it's received and admitted, the counting begins. And by our projection, latest by the 10th of November, we will take that secret vote. And I have no doubt. Look, I want to urge my colleagues on the MPP side. Look, they've done something which is totally unrivaled. It's never happened. It's historic to have more than 80 MPs from the finance minister's own party. And a few days ago, the president had been, a few days before the famous 25th October palace coup, the president had been describing his cousin as an excellent performer. All his ministers are great. And people ask, are we sure our president lives in the country with us? What bubble is he in? His own MPs have clearly distance themselves from him. And that mutiny, which is in the national interest, and I salute them for it. The statement that the majority leader issued, you clearly see some deal. And I have said that, look, this is not the time for deal making in favor of one family. We must be interested in fixing the Ghanaian economy for millions of families that are struggling, that are suffering. We shouldn't be interested in just making a deal with one family. I agree with former President Mahama that the excuses being made that the finance minister should be allowed to present the budget, that he should be allowed to finish the IMF negotiations. Hogwash. Total hogwash. Didn't they tell us that they had a man? I mean, God forbid. Are we saying that if Ken Ofori is incapacitated today, that's the end of our country?
Right.
A whole president was called to heaven. Didn't our democracy continue? Didn't former President Mills die in office? Was that the end of our democracy? Did our country collapse? And finance minister, a corrupt finance minister, engaging in the most despicable conflict of interest of the most notorious type ever in our history. And Charles Edouboahin with his Black Star Holdings and all the things, we are serving notice. All the things he has done, Black Star, at the Mineral Investment Fund, MEF. We have the dossier. And people are not going to get away with all of these financial atrocities. So I agree with the former president that, look, the grounds are totally unmeritorious, that he should finish. Look, in any case, why should somebody else come implement a budget he didn't author? In any case, if you even understand the budget preparatory process, by now, if this is a working, serious government, the large part of the job has been done. So you need a new finance minister now.
Right.
This business of let the IMF negotiations be completed. Do you know, Kwesi, that IMF...
You can round up on that one for me. So that
IMF negotiations can take a very, very... Look, let's forget it. There is no way we will reach an IMF deal before the 2023 budget is presented in a few weeks. There's absolutely no way. It's not possible. They should stop the propaganda. They should stop misleading Ghana. It's not possible.
Right.
Look, if you followed complex IMF negotiations with countries like Argentina, Greece, even recently Zambia, it's taken more than a couple of years. And when you see, you must link the agreement and the negotiations with the level of the mess and then the kind of characters you are dealing with.
Okay.
If you are dealing with a finance minister who engages in misreporting, and yesterday the Honorable Atu listed all the incidents of misreporting, when he told us, for example, in 2020 that he borrowed only 44 billion, it turned out it was 60 billion. You know, many cases of misreporting. So consciously doing, you know, so-called clever accounting, which I call disingenuous accounting, hiding information, you know, concealing data. So you are dealing with people who are very dishonest and deceptive. So the IMF negotiations are going to be long drawn out. There is absolutely no way a deal can be reached before the budget is presented. So,
so you think he should go now?
He should go now. The president should stop. And I've told you on authority, I know that Charles Edouboahin has tendered in his resignation.
And the president didn't accept.
The president.
But how true is this? I'm taking your word as a member of parliament.
Have I ever,
as an honorable member
have I ever put out any information from the president's office and the president's travels that have been impeached or questioned? I know what I'm talking about. I put this out more than 20 hours ago. Nobody has contradicted what I put out. And then I know what I know and I know what I have. So look, the president should stop downplaying the profound economic mess he's brought upon us.
Okay.
He should quickly relieve these people to go. They say they have the men. They should add the women as well. And bring in more competent, clean, honest, decent people to help us out of this mess.
Right. Now, so happenings in Parliament.
And I should conclude that the only solution now, really, if the president refuses to act and the two ministers refuse to,
you have the order paper, and it's captured on the order
paper. For our colleagues.
Let me come to that.
It's for our colleagues to prove to Ghanaians that their press conference they meant it and
right.
vote with us.